Peace, family. Welcome to the gates of power. Now, I'm going to spare you the details of talking about my backstory and who I am, but what I will talk to you about is the living classroom experience. Gates of Power is a one-of-a-kind journey into who you are. You're going to get empowerment frameworks. You're going to get worksheets. You're going to get on-demand training. It means it's on your time. There's no rush. On the next page, you're going to know what it's about in detail and why you are the perfect candidate for the Gates of Power experience. Very excited to have you here. Today is all about unlocking a new aspect of your mind. This module, rather, is all about unlocking a new aspect of your mind. This module is, at its base, understanding what is necessary for you to get out of the trap that society has put us in, as far as understanding what it means to be independent. For far too long, we've been captive to the ideas, to the psychology, to the mindset, to the habits of the world, to this society. And what I'm going to introduce to you is a new understanding so you can unstick yourself out of the mud, so that you can lay a new base, a new foundation for your family and yourself. You can set new standards, new principles, and sooner rather than later, you will find that life may have shifted for you. Okay? So this skill is so important because it allows you to be an asset to any environment you find yourself in. Family, you hear that? This skill is so important because it allows you to be an asset to any environment you find yourself in. Your economy is as valuable as the solution it brings. Your value, not your worth, your value is based on the solutions. So that's why I encourage you to become a scientist, to discover more and more innovative ways to solve problems. Because the more you solve problems and the more powerful it is and the deeper the impact it has, the more valuable you become. And the more valuable you become, the more resources you can attract. And the more resources you can attract, the more impact you can continue to make, because we use resources, because when we break down resource, the beginning of it is re means to do again, or to purpose in a different way. What are we purposing in a different way? Source. What is source? It is energy. So we are distributing energy in different ways. That is what resources are. You are getting more energy coming towards you so that you can use it again and again and again. This is why, I don't want to go too far here. This is why charity is important, so that you can give back some of that energy. Because again, what you give comes back to you. Stagnation is death. Motion is life. Stagnation is death. Motion is life. Stagnation is death. Motion is life. We want resources so that we can replenish the world. We want resources so that we can replenish the world. And the more solutions you have, the more ways you're able to assist the world with the excess energy that you have, where you can create and build something new, because everything is built upon energy. It is the reformulation of energy in different thoughts, patterns, ideas, waves, vibrations, sound, frequencies. All those things are just reconfigurations of energy, reconfigurations of source, reconfigurations of your personal power. That's your economy. And the more you're able to do this in your way, your specific way, your special way, the more valuable you become. And so that takes us to our final point in this class, and it is, you have to take responsibility for your survival and managing your development. Yeah, that's it, family. You have to take responsibility for your survival and managing your development. Nobody else is supposed to wake you up and say, hey, did you make sure that you can eat today? Did you make sure that you can get water? Did you make sure that you're growing and learning? Nobody is supposed to do that. You are supposed to take that responsibility. The only people that are supposed to do that for you are your parents, and they're supposed to do that up to a certain age. And even then, they're supposed to guide you into assuming that role for yourself. They are to teach you the guidelines of life. You are to listen so that you can be a student, which is ultimately a master. So you can do these things for yourself. I'm giving you this information about economy and your personal power and your resources so that you can use this knowledge and apply it to your life. And not just live the life that other people portray as grandiose and awesome. You can make 6 figures. Yes, that is great. But what are you going to do with those 6 figures is more important. What are you actually wanting to build? What do you want out of life? And I'm not yelling at you, family. I'm passionate. I'm passionate because I want you to have a zeal for life, and it hurts my spirit. It hurts my soul that my brothers and sisters have fallen to such a deep slumber that they are sleeping on themselves and their potential. You allow yourself to receive less than you are worth, and you are happy with living below your standard. You have not even established standards for yourself. And my hope, and I pray and trust that you will take the mantle after this course, and even right now, to establish standards for yourself. Establish standards for your life. And take the power back into your hands. And begin to do what is necessary to get to where you want to go and establish where you want to go. Establish it, family. Again, family, I love you. This is not criticism. This is love. And it can come off as criticism to a lot of people because we have not been taught to love properly. Nobody has really shown us enough love to tell us that we're going down a path that will hurt us. They're too worried about the attachment instead about the authenticity of the relationship. And my relationship with anybody taking this course is authentic because the purpose of this course is to teach you, is to show you things, and to continue to share with you as best as I can a path that is different from the one that we're taking, because the one that we're taking is leading us straight to hell. And I'm not making this a religious conversation. I'm making this a real conversation. Heaven and hell are both states of mind as taught by Sayyidina Elijah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Heaven and hell are states of mind. And most people are living in hell. It is constant stress, depression, anxiety, worry, fear, depression, numbing, which most people live in, and they think it's normal. Most people think it's normal to only have 2 days out the week where they get to relax, and you don't relax. You're typically trying to escape your reality. Drinking, smoking, sex, these are behaviors that I call addicting and numbing. It's in the book YDYFX2. If you've not read it yet, pick it up. It's in the course, or you can buy it separately if you're watching this outside of the course. Brothers and sisters, I find that many of us are living in a society and we're lost in the sauce. You're living in hell and you just normalize hell, so you think it's normal because everybody is doing it. It's not normal to only have 2 days out of a 7-day span where you can do as you please, and more often not, you can't really do as you please because the first 5 days are built on accumulating resources to do what you need to do to survive, and then the next 2 days are built on managing your mental state so that you can survive as best as you can. And we don't understand time management or energy prioritization just yet. You will if you're in this course, to even learn how to manage our time outside of our 9 to 5. And even if you're an entrepreneur, if you don't have the mindset in the correct manner, you still do not learn time management and energy prioritization. These are basics that we must establish for ourselves if we're to live in heaven. And what I'm offering to you is a different route to get to heaven. We're supposed to have luxury, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. I'm paraphrasing from my sacred supreme wisdom lessons, but we are supposed to have those things if we take the knowledge that is given to us by those in authority among us. So family, I want you to just realize that it's up to you to take responsibility for your survival and manage your development, okay? You are the one responsible for your survival, and you have to make this shift mentally. And this means being strategic and planning. We cannot live haphazardly anymore. And if we do, you will find yourself on the losing end of what's to come. And life works in cycles and patterns, and that's just a fact of life. So whether or not you believe in prophecy, that's irrelevant. You cannot deny seasons. And there is spring, there is summer, there is fall, and there is winter. There is life, there is peak, there is the decline, there is death. And we put it in reverse. So everything comes to a point where it becomes dead or no longer existent or begins to shed to be rebirthed. But everything comes to an end. So we have to realize that even the way that we live today is going to come to an end, and we must be ready to make that shift from dependency to independency. And then the next shift is to interdependency. Independency is an interim state. Independency is an interim state. And that just means that it's a state that is not meant to be forever. We are meant to work in communities. We're meant to work in harmony with one another. So being by yourself is a transitionary process, a transitionary state. You should always be able to do that, but you don't always have to be that. We can always leverage. You see? We have to be strategic. We have to begin to plan the life that we want, and we have to even redefine what we want. Because often we've been told what we want because our idea of what we want is what will get us acceptance, hence Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You see how this is coming together? What we tend to want is what will get us accepted, not what is authentic in our soul. And so we have to begin to redefine what brings us peace, what brings us happiness, what brings us fulfillment. And that's what this question that is continually asked. And this is what we are solving for in this course, in my services, and anything that I do. What is my purpose? And I'm going to take the moment here to break this down. People like to say there is no purpose to life. That's bullcrap. It is a purpose to life. You have a purpose because you were made with a functionality. You will create your purpose based upon your functionality. So your purpose is your motivation behind getting something done, which is your mission. Your mission precedes purpose. Purpose precedes completion or accomplishment. So you first have to figure out what your mission is, and the mission is based upon your function, right? Function. We'll write this down, family, for me as well. So I love teaching you all because I'm learning along with this. I told you this is a living classroom. So we have our function that we need to first discover, which we can do with an energetic signature session. Once you find your function, that gives rise to understanding your mission. And once you discover your mission, you have to realize your purpose. You have to create a purpose behind accomplishing that mission. And once you figure out your purpose, then you go to accomplishing. And once you get accomplishing done, then you have fulfillment. So we have to make a strategic plan to move from functioning to fulfillment, F to F. We go F to F, functioning to fulfillment. And that's what these empowerment blueprints are to do for you. Start making a plan. Oh, alhamdulillah, family. I hope you're enjoying this with me. So this means creating a life vision for yourself. And I said this already, family. As we read it, we're going to keep going. If you are to truly grow into the being you truly can be, you must set new programs within your mind about how life works. I even have a module, I think it's on this one. If not, it is in module 6, and it has business items in there. So you can begin structuring a business plan for yourself, because you're going to need to be able to do for yourself, even if it's partial, right? You bring in X, Y, Z from your job, you might just bring in a little extra from your business, but you're starting to do for self. And when you start doing things differently from how life has been presented to us, you'll start seeing new opportunities, you'll start seeing new things in life, you'll start experiencing the richness of life. And so in this next module, we'll be diving into a new paradigm for your mind. And I just say that it'll be more in depth. I know going through this lesson was already a new paradigm for your mind. I know your mind was shifting as we went through this one. I know it was. And so all you can do when you go to sleep tonight, I know when you wake up, you're going to wake up with more enthusiasm than you ever thought how, and I'm not sure how you're going to do that. But when you awake, you will notice the difference. But for now, right, this is just for now, I would like for you to really begin to think about what kind of life you want to live, what that looks like, and how you're going to make it into a reality. I asked this question in a variety of different ways all throughout this course because I want you to continue to think about it. I read a quote, I think it was in a book, but it said that the universe always has answers for you. You just have to have the right questions for you, right? And so I ask you these questions so you can begin to see the answers in life around you and without overloading you. Sometimes you are asked questions not to think, but to feel. I'll let you think on that. So the closing question for you is a technique I use, and I'm sure it too will help you. You're going to answer these 3 questions on paper with as much details as you can create. Are you ready? So I hope you answered that question just now. Are you ready? Not just to receive those 3 questions, but to receive 14 empowerment frameworks, over 10 ebooks, at minimum 7 modules with 9 lessons typically on average in each of those, and to dive into the essence of who you are at your own time. There's gonna be any rush. In fact, you'll have the opportunity to be able to ask questions on your own time and review those answers on your own time. If it sounds like you, go ahead and get started. All you have to do is submit your first payment. You got to hit the button below. We have 3 options. And guess what? The cost is $1.50 a day. It's very affordable, family. And in fact, you'll see on the other page, it could be even cheaper than $1.50 a day. So if you are committed to becoming the best version of yourself, if you're committed to being the highest aspect of yourself, to bring forth that essence within you, go ahead and get started today. I'll see you on the other side. This is Brother Jordan 𝐘𝐨𝐿. Talk to you soon. Peace.